Well, that's a wrap on the 2019 season. Hello and welcome to Tori's Take Live, presented by Priority Health. I'm Tori Petrie. As the decade winds to a close, so does the Lions season. Look, it hasn't been what anyone hoped for this year. 3 wins is a far cry from where many of us thought this team would be at the beginning of the season. There have been many reasons for the disappointing year, from injuries to inconsistencies, and last night the Lions capped things off with another loss to the Green Bay Packers. This one felt eerily familiar. The Packers eating up the clock to kick a walk-off field goal in the final seconds. Where have I seen this movie before? Oh, that's right, in Green Bay earlier this season. Matt Schneidman, the Packers reporter for The Athletic, tweeted out this crazy stat last night. The Packers led for 0 seconds against the Lions this season and won both games. What is this sorcery? Only the Packers could do this. I know a lot of you had eyes on the draft watching yesterday's game, but in retrospect, the Redskins lost, which meant a win or a loss for the Lions was the difference between picking 3rd and 4th in the draft, which to me isn't a huge difference. And after leading the whole game, it looked like the Lions might actually be able to finish out a tough year on a high note, and they were so close. But like many other games this season, they just couldn't make the big plays when it counted down the stretch. That's really been the story all year long, and something we've covered over and over on Tori's Take. Still, what a beat-up Lions team was able to do against a Green Bay team that had a lot to play for is not to be scoffed at. The Lions finished the year with 16 players on IR, 9 of which were starters. A'Shawn Robinson didn't play in the final game, and they lost Kenny Golladay and Javon Kennard in this game, so that makes essentially 12 starters the Lions were missing at the end of the year. The group that played against Green Bay was largely a ragtag bunch of next-man-uppers, and they still managed to play decently well to close out their season. One particular area I was impressed with, the team notching 171 rushing yards with a running back by committee approach. We saw the yardage split up between Ty Johnson, Kerryon Johnson, and Bo Scarborough, and each of them had some key plays. That young group could be the backfield of the future for the Lions, so it's certainly something to feel positively about as we head into the offseason. Speaking of which, as the offseason begins, and as the season ends, we turn the page to what comes with the offseason. Like I mentioned earlier, the Lions lost this game and the Redskins lost to the Cowboys, which means the Lions will pick 3rd in the 2020 NFL Draft, behind the Bengals and Redskins. You never want to finish a season with 3 wins, but it will be fun in the coming months to discuss what exactly the Lions will do with such a high pick. Regardless of this season's outcome, loyal Lions fans have showed up faithfully to cheer this team on. I have loved meeting you guys and saying hello both at home and on the road. In fact, our producers were able to profile a few of the biggest super fans this year. So before we get to the extra point in the final half of our show here on Tori's Take, let's take a look at this tribute to the loyal Lions fans out there like yourself.
It started off on Father's Day in '94. My wife bought me season's tickets.
I've been season ticket over 40 years.
I've had season tickets probably for 15 years.
I think probably when I was born out of my mother's womb, it was like, go Lions, baby! You know, die hard.
Everybody I talk to, they're always talking about how they're passionate about the team and, how much the city has grown around Ford Field.
Just walking in and being there, and it's instantly that feeling of, we're home. Today's the day.
The environment is very intimate compared to other outdoor stadiums, and I feel like everything is very close and you are almost into the game.
I think the passion that I feel while watching the Lions is something that I would want people to remember.
Great players come and go. True fans are there always.
I just always loved the Lions, my second family, basically.
A lot of people from the outside and a lot of people that I know and that I'm friends with, they'll give me a hard time because we haven't had success. That really fuels me as a fan, and I feel like that fuels a lot of people because when we win the Super Bowl, which it will happen, it's going to be just that much more sweet for us than it is for literally any other team in the NFL.
It's our football squad. It's who we are. It defines our state.
Growing up as a kid and watching games with my family to now have my 3 children and my wife, and we watch the games together. It's about carrying something on, and it's also about believing in something.
I'll be there till the day they 6 foot under. I'm not going nowhere.
I do see a lot of improvements with the team, and I do see a lot of things heading the right direction. And I truly do believe that. That's not blind optimism, that's not blind loyalty. I think that's just loyalty.
Josie is smarter than every person in every park in Michigan.
Checkmate.
Smarter than every person in the world. That's smart. Like choosing Priority Health Insurance.
Checkmate.
It's how smart people access a network that includes 97% of primary care doctors in Michigan.
Welcome back to Tori's Take Live, presented by Priority Health. I'm Tori Petrie. Usually we would take you to our extra point right here, but today we are going to hear from you first. All season long, we've had you send in your questions to be answered here on Tori's Take Live, but today we thought it's been a tough season, so we wanted to cheer you guys up a little bit. I sent out this call for questions, asking you guys to send us in your cute pet photos to make this day better for all of us. I started off with a picture of my cat Rory here, looking super majestic in all of his fluff. But that's Rory. Let's take a look at your pets. We got a picture here from Frank Ragnall's girlfriend Lucy. She sends in a picture of their dog Bear with a nice little sock gift. Love it. Let's look at some other photos here. We had so many, and there were so many good ones. It was hard to pick which ones would make it on the show. But here is a cat named Matthew Stafford who is optimistic about the future. Obviously, if it's named Matthew Stafford and it's optimistic about the Lions' future, it was making it in the show. Thank you so much, Michael, for sending in Matthew Stafford. Even Jeremy from Pride of Detroit joined in, sending in a photo of his pup looking ready for a little walk. Those look like warmer days out there in Michigan. Here's another photo. Let's see. It is from Hoot McScoot, a little kitten holding a football. I think that's a catch. Touchdown, kitty. All right, this next one is a photo collection of all of our pets here. In new media, we have Sergeant Pepper the bird, we have Bertuzzi taking a little snooze, and we have Buddy. These are some good boys right here. Definitely worthy of making it on Tori's Take. Thank you guys so much for hanging out and for sending in all of these pet photos. There were so many good ones. You got to go on my Twitter account, look at the tweet, read the thread of all of the cute pet photos. It will definitely make your Monday. And finally, we finish up our final Tori's Take of the year with one last extra point. This extra point goes out to Kerryon Johnson, who scored a touchdown in Sunday's game, but it wasn't for the touchdown, it was for the celebration. After the touchdown, Kerryon put both arms out wide and looked up to the sky. That move is actually Marvin Jones Jr.'s signature celebration, and Kerryon pulled this out in tribute to his teammate and his family in light of the loss of their 6-month-old son Marlo earlier this week. Marvin, Jasmine, and all of the Jones kids, this locker room, this building, this organization, all of these people, even this city, we are all behind you and praying for you during this difficult time. I want to say thank you to everyone who has joined in with us for Tori's Take all season long. It has been so much fun being able to hang out with you here on this show. We appreciate it. Stay tuned to DetroitLions.com during the off season for much more coverage. From Xfinity Studio, I'm Tori Petrie.